everybody. It's Kevin Davidson, your host for Kevin's Corner, real estate from a marketing perspective, and we're all the way up to episode number 111. And I'm excited about this episode because I got an old friend back that has not been around for a little while, but he's back. But let's get the podcast started by letting everybody know that if you watch the podcast, if you subscribe, and you want to be on the podcast, if you're an agent or a vendor that operates in the Fort Bend County area, give me a call, 832-654-0527, or email me at kevin.davidson@stewart.com. And I always say at the beginning and the end that I can't do the podcast if it wasn't for my team, which is made up of Jennifer Smitis, the area president, Mike Snyder, the area sales manager, Caitlin Cornick, Devin, and Van Wynn, our escrow officers here in the Sugarland office, and Gracie Lagos and Melissa Caruso, the escrow officers in the Richmond office, and everybody else that works with them. Could not do the podcast if it wasn't for you guys. So now that we got that out the way, this one is going to be special because I got a returning friend, and in the second segment, I'm going to try and interview Devaney again. We tried it one time, and technical problems. So she's going to be back in the second segment. But this is Jason Miller. He is from the property management world, but he's not in property management anymore. Nope. So say hi to everybody and tell everybody who you are and what you were.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jason Miller. I'm COO of Texas Home Buyers. Might be a company you've heard of, been around 25 years. And we are just what the name says. We buy houses all over Texas in any condition, play our best baseball here in the Houston area, the Houston market, but we can buy properties all over Texas and have. So buy them, resell them, work with individuals, work with companies, work with realtors, whoever has a property to sell that maybe don't want to wait for the market to get them the price they're after, we might be able to come in and provide a solution.
So we'll talk about how that whole process works here in a few minutes.
Cool.
But let's talk about Jason Miller and what you were doing before you got with Texas Home Buyers and how you got into real estate.
I was in the property management world for a number of years, high volume, as you know, we kind of share that experience.
Yep.
And that really is, as people probably know, that is investor real estate. It really is. So focused on the single family investment real estate. So really well prepared for this kind of role.
Yeah. And I was in property management for 9 years and the company that he worked for was actually, as far as I was considered, our only competition at the time. Now, it didn't bother us. We still grew like a weed, but he was the one that came up the most. That was a thorn in my side.
Well, Houston is a big market. There's room for more than one big player.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's always true. Always room for more good ones.
Yeah. So we both come from basically, dealing with real estate investors and dealing with tenants and, dealing with tenants, toilets, and turmoil and all that stuff. And so how long were you doing that?
Over 6 years, almost 7 years.
So you were in it for almost as long as I was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And when you were there, I think you got your real estate license?
Yep, I am licensed.
Are you still currently licensed?
Still currently licensed, sure
okay.
am. It's helpful.
Yeah. And then, so what were you doing before you got into property management?
Before property management, I was in the blast and ballistics business.
What does that mean?
So made products to help stop bullets and booms.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah.
So vests and
more structural and vehicles, but some personal protection equipment. But yeah, if you actually check my LinkedIn page, I've got the hero walk video where I'm walking and behind me, big fireball explosion goes off behind me. It's kind of fun.
Oh, that's you. Okay. All right. Nice. And so why did you get out of that industry?
I've just over the years become a real fan of single family real estate as an investment. I think the asset class is not going anywhere. I think in this economy, anytime you can get your hands on tangible assets, I think that's a win. You're seeing more and more people really recommend higher percentages of their portfolio be in tangible assets like real estate. Of course, real estate comes with other benefits, tax benefits, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a good place to be.
Okay. And how and why did you end up in property management as opposed to any other aspect of the industry? Because property management, I mean, I'm bald now, so that's what it did to me. Okay. You're not bald. Thinning,
Not
but
yet.
you're not yet.
I'm working on it.
So, why did you end up there?
I knew some guys that were in that business. They needed some help running the sales team, and it was as simple as that.
Yep. And so how is that role similar to this new role?
Really, it's just tons and tons of repetition with single family investment real estate. So specifically, you just get a lot of practice on knowing what a property is worth in a given market, which kinds of properties are better to sell versus better to buy and hold, how much value you can harvest by putting in work, whether it's simple paint and carpet or whether it's a down to the studs rehab, and all of those things are exactly what you need to know and to be able to learn quickly about an individual property anywhere in the huge Houston market, to be able to buy and sell at a profit, to buy at a price that the seller is willing to take, and then to resell it at a price that makes you money as well.
So is it safe to assume, based on your just most brief statement, that if someone says, hey, I got a house I'd like to sell, you're probably not going to offer them market value?
That's a very safe assumption. That's
Okay.
a very safe assumption.
Is there ever a situation to where you would?
You never say never, but that's definitely not our method. Our standard method is we acquire a property at a price that gets the job done, right? And there's all sorts of reasons that people would want to sell and not take it to the retail market, put whatever work it needs into it to get, sort of that sweet spot of value out of it, and then price it to sell at 5 to 10% below what the market price is, because we're not designed to sit on a property.
So you want to make a little profit on it, but you don't want it to be in your inventory for a long time.
Absolutely. We'd rather make a fast nickel than a slow dime.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay. So now you guys do rehabs,
Absolutely.
and does your company buy and hold them, or do you buy them and then sell them to somebody that's going to buy and hold them?
We only hold them as long as it takes to rehab them and put them on the market and sell them.
So you don't rent them out?
Very, very seldom. That is not our model. We're not buy and
Okay.
hold guys. We're flip.
You're a flipper.
Buy and
You're,
sell. Yep.
you're a flipper.
Yep.
Okay. Will you purchase properties that don't need work? That, say, somebody is in a foreclosure situation, or for some reason has to move quickly and doesn't have the time to wait for the market? Okay.
But that question was, do we?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And we're seeing it more and more in this market. I mean, as you know, not only is it fall going into winter, you may not feel like it outside, but it's the slow season traditionally for real estate, plus this market with the higher interest rates and the economic uncertainty, it's moving even slower than it normally does. And so we're seeing more and more people that have their houses listed for sale with a realtor, or just did and decided they didn't want to wait.
Right.
And so we can come in those situations and sometimes get to a price that works for everybody. They solve their problems, and we're able to do something with that property.
So tell us about Texas Home Buyers.
Texas Home Buyers is founded by a guy named Jeff Gearing. Been around since 2000.
25 years.
25 years. So I have been pleasantly surprised at how many people have actually heard of the company. It's a great name, very simple. I love everything Texas, but it's right there in the name, what we do. Over the years, we've flipped somewhere north of 1,400 houses throughout Texas.
In 25 years?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And are they headquartered here in Houston?
Headquartered here in Houston, literally right down the street from this office.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So you're going to invite me over there for lunch one day, huh?
Sure.
Okay. You heard it here. Is it just you and the owner?
No, we've got a staff. We have marketing folks, we've got accounting folks, and we've got a disposition agent. That's all part of the group.
And then you're still licensed as a real estate agent. Who's your broker? Who holds your license?
I'm literally in the process of moving my license over to Walsall Properties now.
Nice. Walsall. There you go. No, a lot of agents at Walsall.
Right.
Okay. So if I am needing to sell my house for whatever reason,
Right.
and I see your logo, I see your ad or whatever, or I connect you with somebody, an agent or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
how is an initial conversation going to go between you and the person asking for your help?
Sure. It depends. Initially, they're going to reach out to us. Maybe they go to our website and fill out a form. Maybe they call us at 713-649-SOLD. Maybe they email me at jason@texashb.com. So however we get in touch, we're having that conversation, usually on the phone, and ask basic questions. We need to understand, why are you selling, right? Mm-hmm. What are you needing to accomplish? Where's the pressure, to see if we can relieve that in a way that makes sense. And then we just ask questions. How much work do you think the property needs? How long have you lived in the property? Ultimately, we can really short circuit that process if we understand, hey, what do you owe on the property? Mm-hmm. And that lets us know if they've got some equity, then there is some room to work, mm-hmm. where we can buy it quickly for cash, get them the money in their pocket that they need, and get on down the road. Sometimes people will actually tell you, this is my bottom dollar, and that's always helpful. Some people want to, play the negotiation game, and that's fine too. But that's the nuts and the bolts of it. Sometimes you'll hear very interesting stories, sometimes very sad stories. Mm-hmm. But every person obviously has a bunch of stories. We're all a bunch of stories, right?
Oh, right. Yeah, of course, we all have skeletons in the closet.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say that, but sure. But, every house has a story. There's a reason why they're needing to sell it. Mm-hmm. We try to understand that so we can see if we can get to a point where we can both come out okay.
And would it be safe to assume that there are situations to where you can't come to an agreement and you have to walk away from a deal?
Oh, yeah, all the time. All the time. I mean, listen. At the end of the day, like so many things, it's a sales game. Mm-hmm. And so, can we get to a place where the needs meet up, mm-hmm. right? The biggest, I would say obstacle is people that come from a frame of reference of what they think their property is worth retail, right?
Of course.
Or, in a more, and this is very recent because we're coming in, we're in October, but they think it's still summer because it's still hot outside, and they think they can still get summer prices for their house in the fall going into winter. Mm-hmm. And so there's a conversation to really share real information on that's not really the case. There's a discount, a hickey that we all take, and mm-hmm. going from summer pricing to winter pricing in any market. And so those are the conversations that we have most often, and showing them how they can net out sometimes pretty similar money in certain cases. Because once you factor in, hey, if the house needs work, not only cleaning, but carpet, paint, flooring, mm-hmm. basic stuff that just happens. And then you factor in commissions and closing costs, all of a sudden we may not be as far off as we thought. So it's really giving them an option that may make them more money, but take a lot longer, versus a little bit less money that can be done very quickly, and mm-hmm. let them pick the best solution for them.
Awesome. So how does Texas Home Buyers or Jason Miller mm-hmm. find your prospects, your leads?
Well, obviously, just like you and I are sitting down now, the old networking and referral mm-hmm. is always a solid chunk of business. We have been finding good results with Google ads, Facebook ads. Mm-hmm. And
I always advocate for Facebook ads.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Google is still certainly king when it comes to that. A whole lot of people just still go straight to Google. We are seeing a lot more people, and this is still Google connected and search mm-hmm. engine connected, but I'm hearing more people say, I asked ChatGPT or another AI who the best home buyers in Texas or in Houston are, and AI platform is going to spit out a list, and we're virtually always on it because of the traffic, because of our Better Business Bureau ratings, because of the number of deals we've done. So we always come out in the top 3. We get a phone call and we see if we can do a deal.
And one of your target markets is working with real estate agents, right?
Absolutely.
So what are the things that you do to get yourself in front of agents or get their attention?
To get their attention, it's doing things like working with you, right? The CE classes or other networking events, and just talking to them to let them know. And there's 2 common scenarios with realtors. One is you've got a property listed, it's not moving, the owner doesn't want to come down on price, right? Or they maybe they do. Maybe there's just, because of this market right now, there's not a lot of buyers. It's a huge buyer's market, and a lot of areas are slow. So you may get to a point where there's a real pain point behind the scenes that they're willing to take a discount and just ready to get out from under it. I see a lot of people that are paying 2 mortgages. Well, that can get on you. That can weigh on you heavy real quick.
Oh, yeah.
And so sometimes they'll take a discount to get out from under it. So we can work with them when they have it listed. Or if that's an agent that no longer has the listing, they terminated, they decided they're going to sell, they can still work with us and get a referral fee, $2,000, right? So
say that again. How does an agent get a referral fee from you?
So if the agent, let's say, for example, let's say that client says, you know what, I'm going to take it off the market. That agent can say, hey, you know, I've got a connection that's a buyer. You know, would you be interested in a cash offer and at least seeing what it is? And so that's how the conversation would come up.
So if you end up buying the property, you're going to give the agent a $2,000 referral fee.
Well, we pay them once we sell the property, but yes, that's exactly how it works.
Awesome.
Yep.
So there you go, agents. More value from Kevin Davidson and Stuart Title through
Texas Home Buyers.
Texas Home Buyers.
And there's a second way you can do it too, even for realtors that never get a deal or don't want to take a deal. If that maybe that potential client is difficult to work with, maybe their expectations on price are unrealistic, maybe that property needs too much work, right? Those are situations where you can just shortcut straight to the referral, go straight to the referral fee scenario.
Awesome. And I guess since you guys do rehabs and flips and all that stuff, you have connections with, relationships with, or your own vendors to do the work?
We have contractors for just about everything.
Okay, awesome. So as a person trying to sell their house, I don't need all that already. You provide all that value. All you got to do is agree to sell me your house.
The ideal, and you're hitting on it exactly right. I mean, it's someone that just, they really want really badly or need to get out from under the house, right? They've had a family situation come up and they need to move, or there's a medical situation and they need to free up some cash, right? There is some compelling need, whether it's money or time or, you know, needing to be close to family, that it makes sense to go ahead and prioritize the speed of a cash buyer, and that's where we come in.
Awesome. So are you, where can people find you on the internet?
On the internet, good old-fashioned website, texashb.com, texashb.com. They can call us at 713-649-SOLD, which is 713-649-7653, 713-649-SOLD, or they can email me directly at jason@texashb.com.
And are you promoting the business on social media?
Just started a social media campaign where we're looking for the best way to tie it into Facebook ads, which are going to start here in at scale pretty soon.
So what they can find you on Facebook. What about Instagram or LinkedIn or any of that stuff?
I'll get back with you on that.
So answer is no.
I'll get back with you on that.
Yeah, he knows how important social media is to
Yes,
me.
I do.
So,
Yes, I do.
But he is on Facebook and he does have the website.
Yep.
Awesome. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the world out there that's watching the podcast
For
about
sure.
you or
and I'd say one of the things we're most proud of is if you look at our ads on Google, or our ratings on Google, and our ratings with the Better Business Bureau.
Yep.
So those are the things that I hear most commonly is they looked us up, they saw our our standing with the Better Business Bureau and felt like, hey, I'm comfortable enough that these guys are legit, nice to deal with, and all those things, and worth the call. And then we go from there.
So with a company like yours, if you have a good standing on Better Business Bureau and you have good Google reviews, that says a lot.
It does. And there's a lot of Google reviews. This is not like, 3 months worth. This is years worth, just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of reviews. So, and you can't buy that. You can't buy that. You got to earn that the hard way. You got to earn it, as they used to say in that old commercial.
Okay. Well, guys, this is Jason Miller from Texas Home Buyers. If you have a client that, unfortunately, you've been sitting on the property for a long time and the client's getting frustrated, they need to sell it, Jason is an option. Okay. And if it ends up working out, apparently you get a referral fee. Mm-hmm. So you still make some money even if you don't sell the house on the market. So tell everybody how to get a hold of you one more time.
One more time. Our website is texashb.com for Texas Home Buyers. You can search Texas Home Buyers. You can search a lot of things around that. You can catch us at 713-649-SOLD, which is 713-649-7653. Or you can email me directly at Jason, Jason, at texashb.com.
Jason Miller, everybody, from Texas Home Buyers. Give him a call. Put his phone number in your Rolodex in your phone and keep it handy because you might need him one day. Thanks a lot for coming on the podcast.
Thanks, Kevin.
And we will have him back again later, probably early next year. He's going to be coming to our happy hours and CE classes, so you'll see him around.
Yep.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with episode 2 of, episode 111, segment 2 of Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective with Devin, Cracker Jack Real Estate Escrow Officer here at Stewart Title Sugar Land. We'll be right back. Good job.